Good morning, or good afternoon. Look at that. That was the worst intro ever. But hey, guys, it's the Roofcon Revolution Show. Anything can happen. It's been a long few weeks here, and it's good to be with you guys tonight. And I'm excited because we got the one and only Joseph Hughes, which I don't even have to introduce this guy because he's all over dominating the internet, digital marketing, and changing our entire roofing industry as far as marketing goes. And I'm so glad that he's joined us today. But before he comes on, just want to talk real quick about Roofcon and what this is all about. If you guys haven't gotten your tickets yet, Roofcon is happening in October. This may be the only conference that you'll be able to go to for roofing, at least for a little while. So I'm excited about it. It looks like everything's a go. Tickets are on sale. We're doing the Roofcon Revolt as well. So if you don't know what that is the private group that we're doing with just the people that are part of the Revolt group. That's where we do all of our private trainings, and then we also do we have retreats and other things that go on during that. So if you haven't signed up for that yet, make sure to reach out to one of us here, ask about it in the Roofcon page or in the Roofcon group. If you're not a part of the Roofcon group, check that out as well, because it's going to be a really cool thing for you guys to be a part of, I'm sure, especially if you're trying to scale and grow your business. That's what that's all about. So excited about this tonight. Excited that Joseph Hughes has joined us. Joe's a great dude, and I'm going to bring him right in because we're going to talk about dominating marketing and dominating your industry and your market, how to do that. Is it even worth it to do it? That's what we're going to talk about and figure out what's going on with that. So, Joe, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thanks very much, John. Great to be here always, dude. As always.
So nice to see you, bro. And, you've been busy, man. You've been super busy the last few weeks, I'm sure, trying to get people going with marketing and teaching them what you guys do and helping people out. I mean, I haven't seen quite a program like yours before, and I think it's been hugely accepted by the industry, and it's one of the coolest things that we've ever experienced, and I appreciate what you're doing, man, and helping us out.
Thanks. Yeah, we're fortunate to be in a position to serve and to serve our industry, to serve our clients, and to help our clients grow by leveraging social media, digital marketing. So it's happy to share, whatever you'd like me to share with your audience.
Well, for sure, man. I want to talk about a few things today, and really we want to get into dominating marketing, because I think everybody wants to dominate their market when it comes to social media, when it comes to digital advertising, digital marketing, and that's what you teach people. But let's talk about this for a little bit and what does that even mean, dominate your market? Because we hear that all the time. I mean, that's what we use to promote this today. What does that word even mean in our world?
Well, it's going to be contextual to an individual company, like what their goals are. Not every company is looking to be the biggest roofing company in their market or in the state or in the country. A lot have those ambitions, but not every company is. But I think the common definition can be that you're a top of mind roofing company in your market. So when someone needs a roof, when someone's neighbor or friend needs a roof, like, you're going to be top of mind. You're one of those what we call go-to roofing companies or contracting companies that everyone knows and feels comfortable about calling. So that's going to be something that's probably common for everyone listening to this. They want to be that top of mind company that at least they're going to be in that conversation of calls, calls or get an estimate from this company. So that's what we want to achieve. We want people to think of us when they need the services that we have to offer. When someone needs help with their marketing, we want them to think of us. When someone needs help with supplementing, they're going to call John Dye. When someone needs a roof in Tulsa, Oklahoma, they're going to call XYZ Roofing Company. So that's what it means to dominate at least the portion of your market that you want to serve.
So let's talk about this in a contextual way here. Is dominating really that important, though?
I think.
Yeah, go ahead, man. No, like, does it even matter? Like, that's what I want to know today.
Well, here's the deal. So it depends on every company. I had a post out earlier, well, maybe it was last week, about I asked the question, do you think that your market is underserved? And we had some good conversations about that. So if you're a roofing company, you're in business, you believe at some level that your market is underserved. And one of my buddies in Dallas reached out and he's like, he commented on Instagram. He's like, well, there's 5,000 plus roofing companies in Dallas, each with 1 to 150 sales reps. And I still believe that our market is underserved. So you don't need to necessarily dominate your market, especially if you're in like Dallas or Atlanta or a big city, but you do need to carve out your, your little area or your little niche, whatever that means to you. If you want to be a $2 million roofing company and kind of a one-man show, that's awesome. If you want to be a $50 million roofing company with 100 sales reps, that's great too. So you just need to, what's more important than dominating, which is kind of a nebulous term, is figuring out, getting clear on what you want, and then reverse engineering what you need to do to get there. That's a more relevant conversation than I just want to dominate, because that's not, we all know that goals need to be specific. So what's going to get you there is clearly understanding what you want and then building a plan to get there.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And what's cool about marketing and digital marketing today is, if you think about what marketing was 10, 15, 20 years ago, let's say 20 years ago, my goal was to put up a billboard, and let's say I did put up this billboard, I'm going to get X number of calls hopefully off a billboard, right? I'm going to hope that works. I'm going to maybe put an ad in my local yellow pages, my newspaper, and hope to generate X amount of leads off of those ads. If you're looking at it from a very analytical, breaking down the numbers kind of way when it comes to marketing, what's cool about digital is you really can, it's almost like a faucet, right? Like you can turn it on or off, and you can turn it up or down on a, just on a whim, just basically based on what your needs are at that current time as a business. You're able to control the influx a lot easier. And I think that's the biggest thing that contractors need to understand about marketing is, you got to look at it as, you're right. What do you need, and how much, what is it going to take to get to actually satisfy that need? And you can do that through digital marketing. Am I right?
Totally, yeah. So the first thing you're talking about was marketing to everyone. So it's your yellow pages, it's your TV, it's your billboard, things like that, like getting your message out to everyone. And again, it's really, when you get to digital, it's important to know exactly what you want, to know those numbers. So the first step that we take with a new client when they come in, it's like, okay, well, like, what do you want? Like, your business is here. Where do you want it to be by the end of the year, in 3 years? Who's your ideal client? Like, what areas do you want to market to? Because when you're word of mouth and referral, like, that's great, but that leaves you with the vulnerability of just getting whatever comes to you, right? It might be a small job across town that it's not really worth you traveling over there, but you got a referral and you take it because you don't know when your next one's coming from. Or, it could be something that's maybe a little outside the scope of what you normally want to do, and includes like siding and windows and doors that you don't really want to do, but you just take the job to get the job. But if you're marketing, when you're marketing, you can be more proactive and say, I want to target this area. I want to target this demographic. I only want to go after bigger homes, bigger properties. I only want to target commercial. I only want to target multifam. We have clients that do all those different things. So it's getting clear on what you want, like how many projects you need to hit your goal. And then again, like doing the math, like if you need 100 roofs, in a month, if you need to do 100 roofs in a month to hit your goal, then how many appointments is that? Well, is that 200 appointments? If that's 200 appointments, is that 300 leads or 400 leads? And then you can kind of get to a point where you know how many leads you want coming in, how many opportunities, and then what does it take to get those coming in? And yeah, when you're doing advertising, paid advertising, you can turn that on and off, up and down, as long as you first figure out a winning formula. You don't want to scale your ads, which means like spend more on your ads if you haven't figured out a way to get them working in the first place.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And you said something there, though, the winning formula. which that's the secret sauce essentially. That's the winning recipe as to what's going to work, and that's give us some insight into what that means exactly at Contractor Dynamics and how you guys push that out to contractors.
Yeah, so these are simple marketing principles that make a lot of sense once you're exposed to them. But what most people do is they'll, in the roofing industry, say, any roofing company will put out content that's like, just get an estimate, get an inspection, call us today, contact us today. And especially if you're talking about social media, where most people will be consuming this video at some point, we're not on social to buy a roof or to look for roofing services or to look for any products or services for that matter. Social media is not a search engine. Well, YouTube is, but Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, they're not used as search engines. So when a roofing company will put out an ad or a piece of content that's like, call us for an inspection or an estimate, people are not on social media to look for their services, and people have not heard of them. So that's a big reason why that most marketing falls flat on its face. So what you need to do is you need to first create that awareness that your company exists, create the awareness that people in your audience, in your market, might have a problem. So it might be a damaged roof. It might be an older roof that just needs to be replaced. Commercial roof, you might want to let them know that, there's certain types of roofing systems in certain areas that need to be inspected regularly, or annual maintenance programs are a smart thing to do. Make them aware of a problem, and then you can go in there and offer your solution. So the formula for that, John, would be identify exactly who you want, like who is your target market. Again, is it residential, commercial, multifam? If it's all three of those, then you're going to have to break up your marketing into different segments. You're going to have a variation of your marketing strategy for each one of those segments. As well as recruiting. A lot of our clients do marketing for recruiting as well. It's identifying exactly who you want to help. What problems do they have? What pain points do they have? Why are you a credible solution for them? Like, why should they contact you? What is your solution? And then let them know what to do. So that's a basic kind of 5-step formula to reach your market and connect with them. And solve their problems, and not just broadcast that you're an amazing roofing company, because no one cares unless they know that you can solve their problems.
Yeah, that's the reality of it. I mean, that's the typical though roofing ad that I've seen is just, hey, we're certified with this. We maybe have this type of we're able to give you a free inspection right away, and it's like that's not the kind of ads that people seem to respond best to. There's got to be a lot more thought and formula put into that to really make that work out the right way. And that's where I think a lot of people get frustrated with social media and digital marketing and say, oh, this doesn't work. This is something that's maybe unattainable for me, because they just don't have the right understanding of how to position themselves in the marketplace.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's if you're running a roofing company, you own a roofing company, you're wearing a lot of hats. So I get it. You're not going to be a social media marketing expert. Like, this is what my team and I do every day, all day, every day. So it's what we're used to. But yeah, it's you might hear as a roofing company owner, oh, and you need to get out there on social, and that's the first thing you think of is, all right, well, I'll put my offer up there, and because that's how I sell. Like, that's how I sell door to door, is I'm going to go offer a free inspection. I'm going to knock on doors and do that, which is fine, but you don't do the same thing on social media. That's not gonna work. So it takes, as you said, it takes a little bit of thought before just like throwing your content out there. Content's great, but it's got to be well thought out and well structured. Especially now, because there's so many roofing companies in any given market. There's a lot of competition out there. There's a lot of noise, and you've got to cut through that noise.
Yeah, that's the hard part, is cutting through the noise when you're especially if you're in a market that's like Dallas or Chicago, Denver, some of these areas where you've got so many roofing contractors. You got to start getting really specific about what you want as a contractor and who your ideal client is. Where do they live? Where do they work? What kind of things do they do? And then start to build your ads to be really, really targeted. And that's the cool thing about digital is, other people that are blanketing the entire area, they're not targeting. And you guys teach contractors how they can target those areas and target those specific demographics.
Yes, for sure. So strategically in your marketing, think about again who you want to serve. And I know I brought that up several times. It's so important. One of our clients in Dallas Fort Worth is a smaller roofing company, small team, and they want to stay that way. They don't want to grow to be huge, but they like their bigger roofs, and their ideal client is a busy professional who is traveling for business. Well, maybe not now traveling during this whole situation, but traveling for business or commuting downtown. They don't have time. They just want everything handled in a very professional way, and that's what they want. And they target these specific suburbs of DFW, and that's who they go after. And they'll market to a specific town or a 1 mile radius in a specific area that they want to target. So again, when you're doing marketing, you can laser focus on exactly what you want. Maybe it's a zip code that's been hit by a storm. Maybe it's a mile radius around a really nice project that you're doing. You're like, you know what? There's some nice houses around here. I want to do more projects around here. So I'm going to run a Facebook ad with a video of me in front of this beautiful house that I just did. And I'm gonna market it to a mile radius and hit everyone within a mile. So that's exactly where we tell people to start out. Start small, and then when you get it working, when you figure out like what formula works for you, then you can kind of expand from there. But don't try to throw a bunch of money at it and just hope that someone in Dallas gives you a call, because that's likely not going to happen.
Yeah, for real.
And the reason is, I want to get to the why behind that real quick. We're on this thing nonstop. So I'm scrolling through like this. What gets me to stop scrolling? It's something that's specific to me, that I'm interested in, that I have a need or a want for. So think about that. Put yourself in your ideal prospective client's shoes and think about what's going to get them to stop scrolling. It's going to be something that's very specific to them. So instead of like Dallas homeowners, I'm going to be like, Highland Park homeowners, which is a nice suburb north of Dallas. So something like that.
Yeah. And you learn the behaviors. Like, think about your client for a minute. See, a lot of times contractors end up attracting themselves as clients a lot of times because they don't know how to think in the way that their clients think and think in the behaviors that their clients do. Maybe you as a contractor don't go eat at certain restaurants, or maybe you don't go to certain places, but your clients do. Target those places specifically. I mean, I've done that personally. Like, I've targeted certain restaurants. Like, okay, I want this clientele in this neighborhood, so I'm targeting the Roost Chris over here, or I'm targeting, the Mortons over here, and I'm sending those ads right there while they're sitting there waiting for their table, or coming in and out. I'm hitting them with something. It's so you can be. The cool thing about it is that when you start to get into the nitty gritty of it and start to get really specific, you can do a lot through digital marketing. And you don't have to have $1 billion or $1 million budget for this. You can start small and really start to make a difference. And it doesn't require you to invest tens of thousands of dollars to get into the digital marketing space.
Absolutely. On that last note, I mean, we train our clients that you can start for as little as $10 a day. Now, in the bigger cities like Dallas, Denver, yeah, you might want to start at $20 a day because it's a bigger city. And as soon as you can get to the point where you're at like $33 a day, $1,000 a month, and that's going to give you a good amount of data to see what's working and what's not. As much as I want to share best practices here, and I'm happy to share everything, and as much as you can follow a proven process, every situation is different, and most marketing is not going to hit nail on the head the first time out. There's so many different factors. So you get that data in, you see what's working, you see what's not, you double down on what's working, you stop doing what's not working, you make some tweaks. So you can start for, $10-$20 a day for sure, as long as the key there is to know what's working and what's not, of course, and kind of a little bit why something's working and why it's not. So there is a little art and science to it.
Yeah, and that's where you guys really step in. But, from a broad speaking, point of view, 30,000 feet, this stuff is possible. That's the key that I wanted to, the takeaway that I wanted to give people today was that you can do this. You may need a little bit of help. And I don't think, I think if I was going to invest in a marketing firm or invest in learning how to do it myself and really control it. I mean, when I look at this storm that just happened in Indianapolis, the guys that have been the most successful here locally are the ones that the second the hail fell, they were able to put ads out like instantly, right there from their phone. They were just ads out. They're getting leads. We had a contractor in here, Indie Roof Company. He had 25 appointments on Sunday. The storm hit Saturday night. On Sunday, he had 25 appointments already set just from his social media leads. And that's insane. And I think they ended up in the first 3 days signing 70 deals, which to them that was way, way, way more than they had ever done before. But because of the fact that they were able to be so nimble, they were able to do that. And that's where this education really comes into play. You don't know when your storm's going to hit. You want to be proactive, not reactive. Learning to do this stuff will set you up so that you don't have to make a phone call a marketing agency. Hey, can you guys get this ad out now? I mean, imagine if that's what he would have had to do. If Aaron had to wait until Monday morning to start getting ads rolling, he would have missed out on the biggest jump start that he could have had. But knowing how to do this gives you the ability to do it quick, because it's not that it's difficult. It just requires you to have a little bit of knowledge, and that's what you guys bring to the table.
You said you don't know when the storm's going to hit. You don't. And even if you're in retail and you're not in the storm restoration industry, you don't know when any one property owner in your area is going to want a roof or need a roof. So that's why I call it digging your well before you're thirsty. Like, you've got to be constantly out there farming your market, and you got to have a marketing machine in place, because only a very small percentage of people in your market are actually ready to do business today. But everyone in your market is going to get the roof replaced at some point. You just don't know when. So you want to be there when they're ready, or when the storm hits, or when they decide that they've had enough of looking at their old ugly roof, and their wife is yelling at them because they haven't taken care of it. So you want to have done that work already, and have that stuff in place. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, what you described, John, it worked a few years ago, 2017. Like, you could, storm hits, call the marketing guys, say, hey, run me some Facebook ads, and you could clean up. And we actually did that for our clients back when we were running ads for clients. Nowadays, 2020 and beyond, like, that just doesn't cut it anymore. So, I mean, that's the biggest thing. Have a system. The companies that do really well with marketing are the companies that are marketing 12 months a year. Maybe they're not paying for ads 12 months a year, especially if they're in a northern states where it's snowing, but they're out there, they're putting content out 12 months a year. And then when something happens, like a storm or a home show or springtime, like busy season, they want to pour some fuel on that fire that they've already got burning, then throw some ad money at it. But don't wait to build your fire until you need to.
Yeah, that's the key right there. And I almost think, like, the window of opportunity is right here, right now. Like, we didn't have this opportunity before. I think that the dynamics in our industry, the heavy hitters, the players that in your market right now are really vulnerable, because the playing field has leveled. There's a lot more opportunity for the smaller, more nimble contractor right now to make a bigger impact than ever before. And if you're not doing this stuff, you are literally throwing away one of the biggest opportunities that you'll ever have in your lifetime. Right now, if you're not digitally marketing, you're not learning how to do this stuff, you're not building your presence online, it's Gary Vee says it's like buying Manhattan real estate at pennies on the dollar. That's what it is right now to get into social media and to get into digital marketing and to build your empire, your roofing, your persona, whatever it is online right now. The barrier of entry is so low. If you're not taking advantage of this, you are missing out.
One of the biggest points of stress that I have every day is that we're not getting out more content and not getting out as much content as I want. And to your point, like this, absolutely. I'm not saying if you're not doing this, you're going to go out of business, but you are going to be subject to losing business to those who are. to those roofing companies who are adapting, because it's not about like the latest trends or like social media or anything like that. It's about making it easy for people to do business with you, and your prospects, your clients. They're out there doing their research. They're checking your website. They're looking for reviews. They're looking for videos. They want to see like who they're going to potentially be spending thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars with. If it's commercial, something like that. So the more that you can focus on making it easy for people to do the research and choose you and do business with you, the more you're going to win, for sure.
That's the reality right there, guys. This is Joseph Hughes with Contractor Dynamics, and I'm telling you, like, Joe, what you guys are doing, what you're providing the industry is the contractors that are using you and are taking advantage of this opportunity right now to work with a guy like you, with a company like you, and be trained, are going to be they're so far advanced than everyone else in their space right now, and in their markets, and they're going to have such an advantage to the future and to grow their business at the whatever that rate of growth is that they want to achieve. They're going to be able to control it. It's going to be so much easier for them, and the ones that don't are going to wish they did at some point, probably.
Yeah. I'm not just plugging myself. Like, we train roofing companies on how to do this stuff. Like, we help you build out a system in your business. But whether we talk or not, it's like learn how to do some of this stuff yourself. Like, build out that toolbox inside your company. Like, you have a sales system inside your company because it's important to be able to sell. I'm telling you to build out a marketing system in your company because it's that important. So whether it's spending some time online, buying some books, like watching some videos, watching some of our stuff, like get education on this stuff. Doesn't mean that you have to always do it all by yourself forever, but at least you have that foundation. And then if you want to go hire an agency to help you with some of the technical things like video editing or something like that, then you can. But at least you have that DNA inside your business, which is so crucial.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. Joe, thanks for hanging out, bro. Hope the weather's good out at Jersey Shore and you guys are doing all right over there. They open stuff up for you guys yet?
Honestly, I try not to pay too much attention. The only thing that we care about here, we're by the beach. The beaches are open. We were at the beach this past weekend, so that's open, and that's all we needed to know for summer. So we're gonna have a good summer for sure.
Yep, we've already got our boat in the water. We're ready to roll, and we got we actually got to eat at a restaurant yesterday. So I was like in heaven last night. I got a steak. It was great.
Wow. Yeah, we're not quite there yet, but
oh man,
that's okay.
So,
Wife loves to cook. So we're all good.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Well, thanks for joining us today, man. It was awesome to see you. Good to see you again, and we'll definitely get together soon, I'm sure.
All right, John. Pleasure being here.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
So, folks, that is Joseph Hughes with Contractor Dynamics. If you guys don't know Joe, he's freaking amazing. You guys need to go check his stuff out. He is doing amazing stuff right now. They are killing it. They are doing they're teaching contractors. They're teaching you guys how to become self-sufficient when it comes to digital marketing. And if you understand the basic principles of this, you're able to really advance your business at a much, whatever that rate is. Maybe you don't want to grow so fast, but you got a presence online. Maybe you want to grow super fast. And if that's the case, you can do that too. But having a resource like Joseph Hughes at Contractor Dynamics, I think is so important for you guys. So by the way, 2020 Roofcon is coming up in October. If you haven't gotten tickets yet, we will be in Houston, Texas. I believe it's the 15th through the 17th. Tickets are on sale at roofcon.com. Make sure to check them out. If you guys don't know about Roofcon Revolt, we have guests like Joe Hughes, Chuck Doki was with us, Dale Childress. It goes Pate Smith. It goes on to come and speak to the Roofcon Revolt members on a week-to-week basis and give you guys instruction. It's there's retreats, all kinds of stuff. Message us at the Roofcon Facebook page. We'll tell you all about that. Otherwise, guys, this has been the weekly Tuesday night edition of the Roofcon Revolution Show. I am John Dye, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week, same time, right here on Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn, wherever you guys are watching. Always a pleasure to be with you guys. I hope everyone has a great rest of your week. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks.